It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey, hey!
And normally we would have the man who knows all the lyrics to all the songs from Grease 2, Murray, but alas, he is MIA this week. But I hear this will only be temporary. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on!
Well, this is going to be a little bit of a change for us this week. We've got some changes to the programming, and so let's quickly run through the agenda here. So straight into streaming. Then we're going to do a new segment while there's nothing going on at the theaters called Favorite Films Specific to Genre. That's like a lot of mouthful there. And then we're doing Open Rages. We normally would do the Murman Minute, but we may be doing something else there. Submissions to the Doubted, Mesmerized, and Undoubted list. Rage or Dare, did Grease 2 make me want to sing along with Michelle Pfeiffer? Or did Murray's Bag create a huge musical pile of rage? And then finally, a shortened version of RMM. So, This week, what did we stream, Bryce?
What did we stream? Well, I'll tell you. We streamed
a fantastic,
yeah, you know what?
Fantastic to our Lord and Savior himself, Satan.
Yeah, let's enjoy this for a second.
All right. Streaming. Motherfucking streaming.
All right, so this week we streamed Satanic Panic on Shudder.
Yes, we did.
Yes. So I don't know what you thought of it, but I didn't like it very much.
At all?
Well, let's go through it. Let's start with the direction.
Right.
That was bad. The writing, that was bad. The acting, bad. The soundtrack, bad. I dozed off. I dozed off a couple of times, but only for a couple of seconds, which was kind of a shame. I wish I would have just fallen asleep. Yeah, it was just bad, man.
Really? You hated everything? I was laughing at some parts because it was so bad, though.
No, nothing was funny. It was just bad. It was bad.
I kind of agree that it wasn't. If you're kind of comparing it to things like The Babysitter.
Let's not compare it to The Babysitter. Then it's even worse because the Babysitter was awesome.
Yeah, of course it was. But with that genre. So here's my take on it. It was a meh for me. I didn't rage on it because I did find some of it funny. I do like the whole concept of sacrificing virgins through satanic ritual, but
who doesn't?
No, exactly. So it kind of had a perk. It kind of started at an 11 and it worked its way quite a bit down. It didn't have everything that I was hoping to have in it. I think the humor, they had like maybe 2 or 3 bits that were kind of funny, but they just didn't deliver on the humor. But some of the scenes were great, like the drill scene when she kills like the girl who is supposed to be the virgin, who's the pizza delivery girl.
The drill scene, like that giant drill.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
But it was funny because it was so bad.
Okay, well, okay. It was so.
Maybe that's the part you fell asleep in.
It was just I was awake through that. As I say, I literally dozed off for about 3 or 4 seconds twice, and I wish I would have just zonked out, man, because it was not good. I'm sorry. It is a rage.
This one's it's a Shudder original, I think, isn't it?
It is a Shudder original. That's why I was so bummed, because I really want these Shudder originals to be really good, but
and some of them are. But
and some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them are. Unfortunately, the 2 that I've reviewed on the show over the last couple of weeks have not been good.
Have not been good. Well, so the director is Chelsea Stardust.
Yeah, I saw that.
and she's not known for a heck of a lot of stuff. All That We Destroy, Marco Polo's, Lay Per View, which actually sounds like a really good movie. Oh, The Lazarus Effect.
A good title does not make a good movie, Jim.
But come on, that sounds great.
Slay Per View does sound. It sounds intriguing.
It sounds like there should be wrestling involved,
it sounds like perhaps we should search that one out, see if we can watch it.
If we can watch it. I mean, if you couldn't get all the way into Satanic Panic, then
yeah. Well, I'm guessing that this
maybe it's just going to go downhill from there. But
Slay Per View is probably about half the budget, and
do you mean the name and the picture and the postcard?
Yeah,
the poster. Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of know why this made you rage. I found some of it funny because that's just who I am. I like to see stupid satanic movies and they make me laugh. So it was a very, very low meh for me. But there's not very many good. Well, just like that. I shouldn't say good. There's not a lot of satanic virgin sacrifice movies around. So you got to take them when you can.
Yeah, fair enough. Having said that, it still sucked.
Well,
so what else did we see?
It on your recommendation.
Yeah. Let's get on with it because Satanic Panic got way more time than it deserved.
Okay, so the last one we saw was that was on Shudder, and this other one we saw is on Crave. The Last Black Man in San Francisco, this is the subtext of the write-up on IMDb, and it says a young man searches for home in the changing city that seems to have left him behind. So I had some real problems with this movie. For me, and I think we both have a similar opinion about this. Visually, this movie is awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing to look at, as I mentioned off air. Makes me want to actually go to San Francisco because, man, it's just every shot in it was, it was really, really, really nice looking movie, but and well made movie. I love the direction. I love the way he framed things. There's a lot I loved about it. There's a lot that I didn't love.
So it's funny for me. I agree. Like it almost made it to a Mondo for me, but I had real problems with the main character.
After the first 5 minutes, I thought it was going to be a Mondo for sure. The opening scene where they're waiting for the bus, and then they should we skate? And I'm like, what the heck is he talking about? And then when they're both on the skateboard and just going through San Francisco,
it was just
that was such a cool, that whole first, like that 5 minutes and a little bit of the build up. I was bought in. I was buying in, and then it kind of waned.
Yeah, I really did like the two of their relationship. I think where it just fell flat for me and what stopped it from getting to a Mondo was the character development on it wasn't as great as I was hoping. Yeah. And for me, it's all about the character. Like, this is really about two guys that are best friends.
Yeah, and but I like having questions about, relationship and stuff, but I still didn't really understand what they were to each other. It was a very, very odd dynamic that I think we needed to know to really get into the story, instead of me just kind of, because I didn't see it at all, and maybe others would, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. And I think the other thing about the main character, first of all, I thought the acting was really good.
Oh, the acting was great.
Some of the direction specific to the main character, and maybe it was the writing. There was a flaw there because, they really made this guy seem almost stupid, and he wasn't. And neither was his friend, and neither was the characters. But on the one hand, they're super intelligent, and you would think, well, that they wouldn't do some of this stuff, would they? But not in that way. His whole naivete about the fact that his grandfather didn't build his house, and this is a bit of a spoiler for people watching, but it's I think that was supposed to be weighing on you, but they didn't build that part of the story up enough for you to kind of go, this is intriguing. Did he or didn't he?
To be honest, I didn't really know whether he thought that he did or whether it was a story. I didn't know whether he actually thought that or not, even towards the end, because he seemed to be so bought into it, and then he seemed to just kind of accept it when he said, he didn't build the house. So
yeah, it was kind of like
it was like, huh?
His best friend finally said. When his best friend finally said,
I was like,
this isn't real, It's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that now. I'm like, what?
That's like that. So that was that's kind of odd. So
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is he like so dead on the set?
And there's so much I loved the whole way that he told him, but I didn't really what happened after that. I was like, huh? So just kind of odd.
Because he has no money. Like that's another thing that in movies like that where they don't have a job.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, how are they getting food? And they kind of didn't. I kind of find that a little bit of a gap. And the other piece was when he goes to the bank. Well, maybe it's because I work in a bank.
Well, I can't.
I'm kind of like, okay.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's just. I mean, as you said, he seems like a pretty smart guy. There's no way he's going into the bank for a $4 million house and saying, "Can I have it?" Basically, I will totally pay you back, even though I have no money. But just be a good guy and give me the house. Like what?
Yeah, like that. Those are pieces in it that kind of. And I know maybe they were trying to make it feel quirky and kind of.
Were they? I don't even know what they were trying with that.
I don't know, but yeah. So for me, this one was a mess, and I think it's worth seeing just for the visuals on it. And I did like some of the peripheral characters, like the gang that hung out in front of the other guy's house that were always out there talking. It kind of made me think of Jay and Silent Bob, kind of the way that they're always just kind of hanging out there talking shit and just kind of chilling and rapping and singing and doing stuff, right? Yeah. And even when one of them gets shot, right, you're kind of like, okay. They kind of made a big deal of it, but then they
did, and then the whole embrace there, that was a big thing too, and I felt that, and as I say, there was a lot of this that got emotional reaction out of me, but there's a lot where I was just kind of confused, and I was like, I don't get it.
So
overall,
what was it for you?
Yeah, it was. I tell you. So I guess we agree on that one, eh?
Yeah, that's an agree. That's a solid man between the two of us.
Right on.
All right. Well, did you screen anything else that I'm not aware of?
I did not. So you know what that brings us to?
Wait. Before we do that,
something?
There is. Well, I didn't see something that we're not going to talk about, but what I did stream, because we had chatted about this, and I'm hoping that you did, was for our next segment, which is our favorite film from the genre comedy. Did you rewatch your favorite movie?
I did rewatch my favorite movie.
There you go. So we did stream something, and that's a perfect segment to segue into our next segment.
Yes. So
crank that music up.
Will do, man.
I feel, and this is almost fitting, seeing as how this week it's comedy. It almost kind of takes me back to Seinfeld.
It really does. It's got a Seinfeld-esque feel to it.
It's kind of like if you can imagine, I don't know what the porn version of Seinfeld was. I'm going to look it up on the internet here while you just sing and dance.
I'm not going to do either of those. I'll bob my head a little bit. How's that?
That works.
This song keeps on getting better. I have no idea why you're looking up whatever you're looking up. Let's get on with it, man.
It interests me sometimes.
Yeah, well.
Oh, okay. So it's nothing special. The porn version of Seinfeld is called Seinfeld parody porn. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
That's boring.
I'm glad we just killed 30 seconds to find that out.
Whatever. We got lots of time this week.
That's true. Murman Minute should be short this week, I guess, eh?
Yeah, it'd be very short. Unless he somehow satanically possesses me. Wink, wink.
I think you're up first.
If you had to come up with, I will be up first.
Yes.
But first, if you had to name a Seinfeld porn name, what would you come up with?
I don't know. What would you come up with, Jim?
Jerry's Berries?
That's fantastic. Okay, let's move on.
Maybe?
It's terrible.
All right. Well, this week we have made a list of our top 10 comedies.
Yes, we have.
For each of us. And I really kind of wish that Merman would have sent us his stuff. I would
Yeah,
have
we
been
could
happy to see it. He's got
exactly. We at least could have told everybody what the Merman's top 10 was. But well, maybe we'll twist his arm and get him to send us a list next week, eh?
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll try.
So my number one with a bullet. I'm not going to tell you what the name is.
What do you mean you're not going to tell me what the name is?
I'm not going to tell you until I get to the end of my breakdown.
Okay, go ahead.
See if you can guess what it is.
Lay it on me.
First off, zombies, gore, sex, gypsy witchcraft, puppets, lawnmower murder spree, necrophiliism, mommy issues, New Zealand movie, interactive love affair, interracial love affair, psycho babies, attack of the killer anus, doggies, custard, Nazi doctors, ninja priests, strong female lead, and finally, successful severed head escape plans.
I want to say Dead Alive?
Yes! I think there was enough leads there.
Yeah, no. I had it after about the first three, but I was pretty much positive by the end.
Was it gypsy witchcraft?
Yeah, well, it was that, and there's not a whole lot of movies that have a bunch of that stuff in. You could say like two of them, and it's like, that's Dead Alive.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read to you what the IMDb brief is on this. A young man's mother is bitten by a Sumatran rat monkey. She gets sick and dies, at which time she comes back to life, killing and eating dogs, nurses, friends, and neighbors. And then the real fun begins. Best line? "Oh, Fernando, your mother ate my dog."
Yes, Dead Alive is well worth a watch.
Or the other, almost his favorite, is "I kick ass for the Lord."
Yes, he does.
So this film is directed by Peter Jackson. It's his third feature film.
Yes.
And this has, as you've seen just from the recap, if people haven't seen this movie, it is a must-see. And you can stream this for free on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. So the reason I love this movie so much, it literally ticks almost every of my 11 boxes that you could have. The only thing was missing in there was Satanic virgin sacrifices, but other than that, it has pretty much everything that I needed.
Yep.
I had listed out the cast and whatnot, but whatever.
What else?
So you might see a theme here. Obviously, it is, I guess, when you search comedy, it doesn't even think it has it as a classification. It is technically a horror show, but anybody who's seen this knows it's a horror comedy.
Yes, it is.
What
else you got?
Number one.
That's your number one. Wow.
Number two.
We're starting with the best and going down, eh?
Starting with the best and going down.
Yeah, just for change of pace, I'll go the other way, but you keep on rolling, buddy.
You kind of do like to go the other way sometimes.
Well,
so my number two in my backup is another movie by Peter Jackson.
Another comedy by Peter Jackson.
Can you guess what it is before I get to it?
For some reason...
He's only got two in my top 10, by the way.
I think I actually do know what it is. It is called... I don't remember.
All right. Well, it is Meet the Feebles, which is puppet comedy porn. It speaks for itself.
Yes.
My number three is made by one of my favorite directors of all time, John Waters, which is number two is Pink Flamingos.
Pink Flamingos.
The Pope of Trash's most notorious offering.
Mm-hmm.
My number three, and we actually talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast, is Death to Smoochie. Stars Robin Williams and Ed Norton.
Death to Smoochie.
At their finest.
What is wrong with you?
I love this movie so much. Number four is Wes Anderson. It's Rushmore.
I love Rushmore.
My first and my favorite Wes Anderson film that I've ever seen.
Nice.
The next is, again, from my buddy John Waters, and that's Serial Mom. Kathleen Turner. Yes, Jessica Rabbit. does a killing spree.
Yes. Worth watching.
The next one is Brothers Grimsby with Sacha Baron Cohen. In my opinion, it's his best. You cannot get away from elephant semen. Yes, please.
That was awful.
It was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. It obviously made my top 10 list.
Wow.
The next one is another Wes Anderson movie, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which has Bill Murray and Wes Anderson together.
I can't argue with anything Wes Anderson. You got it.
Yeah. The next one is Raising Arizona, the Coen brothers.
Nice.
And it's got Cage, the Coens, Holly Hunter, Gold, solid gold.
Damn.
And my last number 10
is
Bowfinger, the funniest movie that Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy have ever done separately or together.
Bobby Bowfinger.
Yep.
Wow.
Bowfinger. That is it.
That's my top 10. That is an interesting top 10. I agree with most of it.
You're having a problem with Brothers Grimsby, which I absolutely loved. I laughed all the way through it.
Oh, see, because I didn't. And the elephant semen scene did nothing for me. Zero.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Really?
He filled the entire other elephant.
I know. It was really not funny at all.
It was disgusting and funny.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree.
Well, if you only picked one out, obviously you didn't like Death to Smoochie either, though. So.
Nah, I didn't really like it. Death to Smoochie was not great. But, whatever. Well, so I liked 8 of your 10. Or was it 11? I think you snuck in like 2 at number 3 or something. No, was it 10?
I might have said 3, but what I did was I put my number 1 and I put my 9 runner-ups that went as 1 to 9. So
fair enough. All right, I guess it's my turn, eh?
It is. What you got, baby?
Well, I'll just preface to get on my list. I had to have watched the movie multiple times, and continue to find it hilarious every time. Although there is one exception at number 5, which will be obvious. It's something that we saw this year because when you laugh so hard that it hurts, you kind of have to. It kind of has to make your list.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Well, and part of what we had talked about was making sure that this is a movie that you've gone back and rewatched to make sure it made your number 1 on the list.
My number 1.
We might have thought that was
my number 1 isn't the one that you're thinking that I was talking about before. I watched it again, and I knew it wasn't. I still think it's hilarious, but person that I was watching with, she did not think it was funny at all. She just sat there and watched it stone faced. No. My what ends up being my number 2 in
number
the
5.
end. But,
all right. Okay. Well, let's have it. Sorry for interrupting.
That's all right. So, number 10 would be Superbad from 2007, directed by Greg Matola, actually. Try that again. Stars Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. We've all seen it. It's funny. Number 9, Napoleon Dynamite, 2004.
It almost made my list. Yeah,
directed by Jared Hess. Of course, the only good thing I think John Heater's really been in, but it was... What? Yeah, give me another John Heater movie. Something.
Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, it was all right.
That was great. That was one of the best.
It was...
freaking hilarious.
It was average. Number 8, the Grand Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson also has to... Yes, got to make my list as well. Of course, it pretty much starred everybody in Hollywood. Ralph Fiennes, Willem Dafoe, F. Murray Abraham, who needs to be in more stuff. I don't even know if he's alive still. I'm sure he is. Jeff Goldblum, Bill Murray, Ed Norton, Jason Schwartzman. I mean, everybody. Tom Wilkinson. Tilda Swinton was in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Such a good movie. Number 7, Wes Anderson again. The fantastic Mr. Fox, the one animated movie that makes it into my list.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, George Clooney and Meryl Streep. Probably the best thing Meryl Streep has ever done, in my opinion.
And George Clooney. Together.
I literally, when I watch this movie, I literally giggle through the whole thing. And when they're explaining when they're explaining the rules to that game that they play, I can't even remember what it's called, but oh man, I almost pee myself. Number 6.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Number 6, Clerks, directed by Kevin Smith. That was his first effort. I really enjoy this movie as well every time I watch it, and I've watched it many times. I laugh and I laugh and I laugh. A lot of the humor is a little sophomoric, but hey, that's all right. Number 5, VHS from this year. Well, actually late last year, but we saw it this year.
Yeah.
Directed by Jack Henry Robbins, which makes me want to search out anything else that Jack Henry Robbins does, because it was really funny. Carrie Kenny as Joan was probably stole the show, but it also
highlight of it.
Yeah, it had Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon with little bit parts in it, and just a good time. Really funny stuff. Number 4, The Pineapple Express from 2008. Well, there you go. I actually like director David Gordon Green. He's done a lot of good stuff. But Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride. I really enjoy that movie. Now, we'll say that 4 through 10, you could pretty much flip-flop them all over the place and it wouldn't really matter. My top 3 is my top 3.
Still number 1.
Yeah, so my top 3 is my top 3. And to be honest, if you got me week to week, they might be flip around a little bit. Number 3, What We Do in the Shadows from 2014.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika Waititi directing it along with Jermaine Clement, which they also star in it.
Yep.
Just funny, just so,
it is good.
So funny.
I love it.
Yes, number 2, Super Troopers, directed by Jay Chandrasekhar, starring the Broken Lizard comedy troupe. It's also got, Brian Cox to bring a little class to the project.
You're crazy.
It's so good.
You went crazy, buddy.
I tell you. And number 1, and I cannot believe that this did not. It is with a bullet, and I can't believe it didn't even make your top 10 because every time I watch it, I just laugh. This is Spinal Tap.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, by far the best thing Rob Reiner has ever done. It's just so good.
100% agree with you.
And when you got Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, and Harry Shearer as Spinal Tap, you can't go too far wrong. Plus, all the little cameos in it are fantastic. Bruno Kirby and Ed Begley Jr., Fran Drescher doing the best thing she's ever done. It's so good. Billy Crystal was in it, Angelica Houston, Fred Willard. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and everybody's just so funny in it. This is Spinal Tap is my favorite comedy of all time. I'm going to take this opportunity real quick to run through my honorable mentions, other stuff that people should check out. Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, Team America, World Police, because you had to get some. It's got the best puppet on puppet love scene ever.
Yeah.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, Monty Python's The Holy Grail. You got to have some horror comedies in there, right? Tucker and Dale versus Pure Evil, Zombieland 2, Double Taps, got to be included. I also got Dude, Where's My Car? I've also got my favorite absurdist comedy, Wrong. And Adam's Apples. It's a gem from Denmark, starring Mads Mikkelsen. If anybody gets a chance, check out Adam's Apples. It probably could have got as high as number 4 on my list, but it just fell off. So that is
Many of the good choices.
And there you go.
Some of the crappy ones on your list. Actually, every single thing on your list I still enjoyed. There was nothing I hated off your list.
There you go. All right. You know what that brings us to, Jim?
I think I do.
All right.
Bring it on.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Nice.
All right. What you got this week, buddy?
It's my open rage, isn't it?
Yeah, streaming right in there. Hail Satan.
All right. So my rage this week is that TV shows are stealing some of my favorite movie actors. It's ticking me off.
What?
Yes. So we'll start with
Talk
Tom.
About it.
Let's start with Tom Hardy. You know what he's done since 2016? No. He's done Dunkirk, which he was in for 7 seconds? And Venom. He's done 2 movies in 4 years. Why? Because he's been in stinking this stupid TV series, Peaky Blinders, which apparently I have to watch because someone else is actually on this.
It's Peaky Blinders. It's not Peaky Blinders.
That's what I meant. Peaky Blinders. Sorry.
And it's amazing, by the way.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
And Taboo, which I don't know what that is either. But I'm just do some movies, man. We also got Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi's been in what? He's been in The Week Of, a Netflix Adam Sandler piece of crap in 2018. He was in Nancy in 2018, which I've been meaning to actually watch in 2018 as well. And The Dead Don't Die. So in like 3 years, 2.5 years or so, he's done like 3 movies because he was starring in some TV series called Miracle Workers. Have you watched that?
No, but he's done a couple back-to-back, right? Like, he did Miracle Workers, but he was also on...
And he's done like some bunch of voice work, too. Was he on some other huge one? I don't even know of it, but... Yeah,
Boardwalk Empire. That was his whole show, man.
Boardwalk Empire was what, 40 years ago? What are you talking about, man?
What? Boardwalk Empire was 2010 to 2014, so...
Okay, so it was 6 years ago. Anyways, yes. And then back then, yes, they was stealing him away from movies as well. I realize that they're probably making the big bucks for making the movies, but I want them on my big screen. I don't watch the television shows. And what is going on with Adrian Brody? His last
what happened to him? Is he still alive?
He is still alive. You know, the last thing he did was Da Hong Ha, which was a Chinese movie known as Airstrike in North America in 2018. Depending on where you're seeing this, it may also be known as The Bombing or Unbreakable Spirit. Not a good sign when a movie goes by multiple titles. Other than that, he was in Bullethead in 2017 with John Malkovich, which, after actually looking into it, I really want to see this movie. And that is it since 2017. He's been in like 2 movies. This is just not good. He's doing TV. He's also in Peaky Blinders. And that TV show strikes again and gets another one of my favorite actors. And... So maybe it's good and it's worth seeing. Well, yeah, I guess it is. But it's a TV show, man. And maybe I should watch this series. I mean, it does have Tom Hardy and Adrian Brody in it, 2 of my favorite actors. One of which is actually Undoubted. Well, he is indeed. Apparently, he's doing some other series coming up called Chapelwaite, that's in post-production right now. So he's going to be free. Yeah, so that's taking him away from more movies. Like, come on, dude, get back in the movies. You're doing something in some Chinese movie, and then you're doing some movie that obviously didn't get any type of release at all because I never heard of it. But now that I've read about it, I really do have to go see that Bullethead, or I got to find it. John Malkovich. He's actually making a few movies. Is he? He's in. So he's one that's just been completed called Clean. Yeah. He's doing The French Dispatch, which is completed. Yeah. Blonde, which is in post-production. Okay, Emperor, which is in post-production. El Tonto, which is in post-production. And then he's also doing those. Well, maybe he's getting back into it because, man, it's time. It's time. I've been aching for a little Adrian Brody. And finally... he hasn't. Exactly. And finally, Emily Watson. Since 2017, she's been in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which was garbage, by the way. You're garbage. Fantastic. I hate that movie. It's so bad. I love it. It is so bad. And she was Mondo. And she was just so rage. And she was in The Happy Prince in 2018. So she's been in like 2 movies in a few years. She's been in no less than 6 TV series since then. Stop stealing all my favorite actors' television. That's all I got to say. Television, you're fucking evil. It is evil. So now... Super fucking evil. But I have to do a little bit of a rebuttal here. All right, go on. What's your rebuttal? The reason I'm going to do this rebuttal is because, I think what happens to some of these actors, Adrian Brody, I think, how old is he, by the way? He's born in 1973, so he's probably of that age. Yeah, so he's of the childbearing age. So most of these people, what happens is they do the film circuit for a long time, and then they want to stay close to their family while their family's in those time frames where they're needed. So I have a feeling that that's what
Brody did, and I know that's why Buscemi did it. So when Buscemi went to his big show, that was a big thing he talked about with him wanting to just be closer to home, and doing a TV series allows them for that, because usually it's filming either in a place that they own so they can go home and see their families. Am I upset that I don't see enough Adrian Brody? Absolutely. I would hasten to say that Adrian Brody is again one of those people that probably would make our Undoubted list.
So you're saying
I
that
don't doubt it.
Adrian Brody is just being selfish?
Yes. God forbid they have a life outside of our movie.
Exactly. What a bastard.
What a terrible, terrible person.
He's a terrible person. I need myself some Adrian Brody on the big screen, man.
Well, you know what? You've got a 70-inch TV. Why don't you just watch Peaky Blinders and pretend that you're in the theater, and then sit closer instead of on the couch?
It's a 77-inch TV.
Oh, sorry. There you go. So with surround sound, of course you'll love it.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, I think you're up there. Are you ready,
Rager.
Jim?
I'm always ready. I was born ready. So my race this week has a lot to do with what's going on in film right now. We can't go see movies at the theater because of our social distancing. And I know that some people have been trying to get the film festivals that are coming up. Some of them are postponed. Some of them are canceled. South by Southwest, obviously they postponed, but it may end up getting canceled altogether. Now, you and I, we're going to sign up for this one film festival that we found online that is streaming to the internet. So you pay your admission fee, and then you basically can just go in and stream it. But the reason why a lot of the other ones are not, from my understanding, is there is a huge issue with how all of their contracts are created. So from what I understand on some of the reading that I did, some of the major film festivals have kind of had to gather together to sort of set an actual parameters to be able to meet up with it. So I'm actually just trying to find my notes on it, but they basically have to go sort of. Let's just read the list right here. Let me pull this up. Online eligibility. These are some of the things. In signing this pledge, festivals agree to adhere to 6 specific rule tweaks for 2020, with only one policy specifically for distributors. The pledge guidelines are as follows: online eligibility, premiere status, geo-blocking waiver, production timeline, commitment timeline, and distributor clause. And here's a list. I'm not going to list them all off, but some of the major ones that I'll just pull up. Here's a list of everyone who has signed this pledge so far, because they see it coming. So some of the big ones: Atlanta Film Festival, Blackbird Film Festival, Coven Film Festival, Connect Film Festival, IndieWorks, New Orleans Film Festival, Nighthawk Cinema, Palm Springs International Film Fest and Short Fest, San Pedro Film Festival. So there's a significant number that have sort of signed on to this because they're seeing the foreshadowing. I mean, we're talking about this social distancing going for so many weeks. And of course, our friend who's the leader from the South, whose name shall not be spoken, has come out with a completely idiotic comment to say that, oh yeah, we'll be up and running by Easter. We all know that's not true because the spikes haven't stopped. So I want some of these film festivals that are sort of the big front of the film festival season to figure it out, be able to get a festival, because I don't want, like South by Southwest, if this doesn't get cleaned up by the summer, well, it's got too much competition and it's not going to happen. And South by Southwest is just one of the best festivals that's out there. It's the start of the festival season. It kind of what sets the precedence for everybody coming afterwards. And if the people who were really wanting to see these movies, if they can't see the theater, which of course we all want to, but if the option is not seeing these movies, or it's all pushed back, like it's just going to push domino after domino to push films out to the next year and the next year and the next year. Already we're seeing that a lot of the movies that the weekend that it came out, where we were going to the movies and then it ended. There was a couple. Obviously, we didn't see them because they didn't really do anything for us. But they've already come out for streaming on Apple. You can rent them for like $20. So they're trying to make their money back. But if the film industries don't get these pushes and don't get the viewership and the film festivals don't get the money, which they probably already made commitments to, it could be detrimental for film festivals from here on in. So I know it was a bit of a long rant, but it really is, I guess, scary might be the word that I may want to use. But I really hope that they can get some of this figured out because, of course, we don't want to think that this may last longer than a month or two. But if it goes on for 6, look at what we're at. What are we now? April, May, June, July, August, September. We're now in September, and one of the biggest festivals in Calgary, the Calgary International Film Festival, could be under issues as well. So that is my rage for this week. I pray that they can get some of this figured out, and if worst case scenario, as a backup plan, that we have the ability to stream some of these things as a festival online. So that's me. Mic drop.
Yeah.
What you got?
I don't know. I think maybe you're jumping the gun a little bit. I don't know that we need to start worrying about stuff 6 months down the road and create and worry about stuff that perhaps we don't need to worry about quite yet.
Well, talk to me about South by Southwest. What do you think about that?
I agree with that. We're talking months down the road. I'm sure that you brought up the Calgary International Film Festival. They got a lot of people working on it. I think that they'll be just fine when all's said and done. They got stuff in the works.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful, but you can't just ignore the fact that we say, okay, South by Southwest.
Hey, we all want to be sitting in the theater watching movies, man. I can't argue with that.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
No,
but even at that, it's all gonna work itself out to a certain extent because people see what's happening, and if it's got to go a certain way, it'll probably go that certain way. There's options, and hopefully we don't have to get to those options, but there's always options. These festivals I don't believe are just going to be shutting down.
Okay, well, I guess we'll use South by Southwest as a barometer.
All right, well,
because I know
I'm ever the optimist. Apparently, I don't think we need to be quite so pessimistic quite yet.
Well, time is going to tell. All I'm saying is I hope. I hope
you and me both, brother.
The festivals have a backup.
You and me both. All right. So where are we going now?
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right.
Well, this week, which we normally would have in our Murman Minute spot, and since throughout the podcast so far, Murray has not actually possessed me through ghostly means or satanic means.
I thought he had that ability.
I thought he did too.
So why isn't he using it?
I don't know. Sometimes maybe he's just offline. Who knows? But I'm sure.
At least we get the Murman Minute music, though, right?
Yeah, it's not the same without him.
It really isn't.
Oh man, Murray, I miss you, buddy.
I'm kind of bummed now.
I know, me too. Well, hopefully this will be on a sober note. I'm sure if Murray was here, he would talk about all the good reasons why to see Grease 2. And it might have made one of his top 10 lists for his favorite comedies. Who knows?
It may have.
Maybe we'll find out. Well, Murray, we miss you, and we hope all is well. For all those listening, no, from what I understand, he does not have the COVID-19 virus. So don't worry about him. He will be back. Just like Arnold.
Nice. All right.
So this week, I brought forward a new Doubted.
A new Doubted.
I did.
All right.
Now, the problem that we might have with this Doubted is the fact that he hasn't made a good movie in so long.
Yeah.
That I listed out his 9 last movies.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the list, and we've got a problem because I'm guessing neither of us have seen like 6 of them.
Yeah. So I guess the question goes is that if the ones that we have seen are so bad, I'm not going to go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Because every movie he's made that I have seen has been terrible.
I'm just looking at this, and I've seen 3 of them.
And were they all rages, or was one of them a meh?
No, they were all rages. The Fanatic, we know that was a rage because we talked about that. It made my worst movies of the year. For some reason, I saw Trading Paint. That was almost unwatchable. Yeah, I don't know. It was almost unwatchable. I was just, I don't know. I must have been bored that day, looking for something to punish myself with. Maybe I did something wrong, and I was trying to punish myself. I'm not sure.
You were looking for love in all the wrong places, buddy.
Well, maybe. And I saw Gotti, which he was awful in, and the movie was awful. So
yeah, but it should have been good because he was an interesting guy.
But yeah, honestly, I haven't seen anything else on this list. I think I've almost watched a couple of them and then gone, no, I don't think so. The Poison Rose, I know I read a blurb about it. It looks awful. I think
we should pencil.
Okay, here's a deal. Why don't we both watch one of them?
Oh man, this could be terrible.
How many have you seen? I'm guessing you've seen 1 out of these 9.
I've seen 2.
Okay, what's the other one?
I saw Gotti and I saw I Am Wrath.
And you saw I Am Wrath? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And it's the rage. But okay, so just so you know, as a preface to this, every single one of these movies, all 9 of them, so let's just read them out. The Fanatic, The Poison Rose, Trading Paint, Speed Kills, Gotti, I Am Wrath, In a Valley of Vengeance, Criminal Activities, and Life on the Line.
It's in a Valley of Violence.
Not one of them got higher than a 6 rating in IMDb.
IMDb gives like 3s to some of my favorite movies.
Yeah, but also people give it 10s. I'm saying it's almost like the barometer because it is still an average of everybody that's voted. So if not one of them can get above a 6 out of 10, that's not giving me a lot of hope that we're going to be able to watch one and be able to say it's worth it.
I don't know, man. Just we've seen a total of 3 movies out of 9. We only have to see, it's got to be out of 8. I think we have to at least see half of them in order to say that he's doubted. So here's the deal. Well, if you're not willing to see one more, then he can't make the doubted list because that's not enough to go on. I can't just assume.
Yeah, but if the 3, it's kind of like, why would you force yourself to see that terrible movie? Maybe he might become a rager dare.
Okay, future. So we've got.
But, so
if they could have offline. Okay, we know none of them are going to be like Mondos, right? So here's the thing: we had the Fanatic. The Fanatic was a rage. The Poison Rose, whatever, because Trading Paint was a rage. Speed Kills, whatever. Gotti was a rage. Okay, you've seen I Am Wrath. So we just have to watch one of them. We either have to watch In a Valley of Violence or Criminal Activities. I think we should both watch the same thing.
Okay, so for next week, let's make a plan. God, that means we're watching 2 fucking terrible movies.
Because John Travolta's made a lot of crap lately, but we don't know for sure because we haven't been watching John Travolta movies.
Because he's creepy. Okay, let's do this. We'll find out which is the easiest to get access to, either through YouTube, Netflix,
okay. So
Amazon,
hopefully
whoever.
In a Valley of Violence or Criminal Activities, we got it. Well, hopefully one of them we can find, and we can find out if John Travolta makes the doubted list.
Sounds good. I'm good with that.
All right.
You got anybody for this week?
I got nothing this week. Sorry.
All right. Well, at least you got to talk about how terrible John Travolta is.
We did do that.
That's the important thing. All right.
Well,
stay tuned, Ragers, for next week when you'll find out what Bryce and I saw of John Travolta's. And if it's a rage or a meh, he's on it.
Nice. All right. That brings us to...
John. Rage or Dare.
You got it, buddy.
So, this week, what happened? Give us the intro, buddy.
Well, this week, I believe that you had to watch Grease 2. Isn't Adrian Zemed in that?
Maybe.
I think he is. And Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
All right. So well, get to it, man. That was you chose that out of as you wrote in the copy here, Murray's Sweet Bag.
That's right.
What did you think?
So let me just recap some of my feelings and emotions through this movie. So the first line in the movie already starts with a great racist slur.
Okay.
If the Russians can send a man in space, just imagine what our young American minds can do here at Rydell High.
Wow.
Already came out with a bang. Thanks, racism from the 80s. Nice to see the kids dance off the bus. Who knew high school could be that exciting to want to dance and sing your way into the first day of school? Was this shot in Switzerland? There was so much cheese in the dialogue, I thought I was in the land of European dairy.
Sounds like
Literally
a Mondo.
Literally the worst dialogue ever written in any movie, even other musicals.
Wow.
Which is really saying something.
Because you've seen some good ones lately as far as musicals go.
No, this just keeps getting worse. This made me remember the sarcasm from the recently released Puppet Killer, who cast as a sarcasm a 50-year-old man as a high school student as sarcasm. First of all, if you get a chance to see Puppet Killer, I thought it's hilarious.
Puppet Killer,
and
right.
Yeah, it played at Horror Fest in the summertime, and so funny how this movie is not treating it with sarcasm. Yet half the cast was in their 30s and 40s. What a great concept for a sequel! And I quote Olivia Newton-John when I say, "A strange twist of fate," in that this time
I saw what you did
it's
there.
a man from it's a man from another country to Rydell High. And will he fall in love with the one greasy pink lady? What is going to happen?
I bet
will
she
he
falls
turn
in love.
Grimy, or will she turn geek? I can't wait to find out. Oh wait, they are both greasy, just like this movie. Frenchie. Okay, so if anybody's seen the original Grease, Frenchie, really give it up. You were a dropout when you were 20-something, when you were doing the original, and now you're going back to Rydell in your 30s? Come on. Really, Frenchie? Really, the first song that is part of the musical is about bowling. We're going to score tonight. And it meant... and it didn't mean it as a group orgy. It just meant they were going to score playing bowling. Because up until that time, it wasn't a musical. It was just music that was happening and people were dancing to it. So it kind of threw me off because the big thing with Grease was that it was a musical, right? Like they were singing their lyrics. No, there was just singing and dancing everywhere. And then all of a sudden, they finally introduced it as a musical at the bowling alley. So, yeah, I can say one thing. Murray had it right when he said Michelle Pfeiffer was the only good thing about this movie. I can see why he spent the better part of his childhood painting the ceiling while watching this movie.
What do you mean by that, Jim?
Well, I'm sure the ceiling of Murray's childhood was probably white if he was actually watching this movie over and over with Michelle Pfeiffer.
You don't have to tell me. I'm sad I asked.
No, you're not. Not sure why the pink ladies are such bitches to Frenchie either.
What?
She was a pink, she was a pink lady.
She was
not sure if when you graduate high school, the first time, or how many times you have to graduate before you retire from the T-Birds and Pink Ladies. Is it a life club or is it only in high school? This plot becomes so complex, I could not really follow it. Another sequel that never needed to happen for any reason and could have employed the entire crew that worked on this film to build houses for the poor or make sneakers in India for Nike instead of being part of this movie. Another great musical, and I say this lightly, that is filled with bad actors who can't even hold a tune, or why not hire singers who can act? Or better yet, don't make this movie.
Even better.
Favorite scene, hands down, The science teacher who cannot hold a note sings about the birds and the bees. It's just ridiculous to see 20 and 30-year-olds so insanely stupid. I was surprised the entire school was not pregnant. Wow, they all graduated, even the stupid ones. Oh, wait, they are all... What? Last part of the movie, the motorcycle jump has one of the biggest continuity errors in the history of bad movies. First jump, he jumps over a giant raft in the middle of this pool, and the second jump, which happens seconds later, lands in the middle of the giant pool, and there's nobody in the raft, and there's not even a raft present.
Nice.
What the continuity? To sum it up, this movie has terrible songs, terrible script, terrible acting, including Michelle P. before she could act, racism, sexism, and at times was so bad I felt ill. I think you did your job. I am in a huge musical rage right now. All that being said, who doesn't love a motorcycle-filled luau? I sure hope there is a Grease 3 in my future.
Nice. So you liked it?
No, it was a heavy-duty rage. It was a song-singing, bowling-playing, steaming pile of rage.
Fair enough. That was quite enjoyable, Jim. Thanks for that. All right. So normally this would be the time when I think it's the week where Murray challenges both of us. Since Murray is not here, but he was nice enough to leave his bag behind. We have reached into it, and we are about to find out what we are going to watch.
You. I'm remote.
Yes. So both of us have to see this, Jim. Are you ready?
And
your worst nightmare has come true.
Top Gun?
It's Top Gun.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I am so not looking forward to this.
God.
This is just.
Oh my god.
I guess at least
Oh my god.
At least we both have to watch it. So it's sort of. It seems so unfair if only one of us would have had to.
Yeah, I do have to say, because this is both of our biggest.
This was, I knew this was in everybody's bag, to be honest, and I knew someone was going to pluck it, but I was hoping somehow, some way.
So here's a question. When we pull it again, we don't have to watch the second.
No, it has now been eliminated. So at least in a way, it's like tearing off a Band-Aid, my friend. We'll get it over early. It'll be gone. We'll move on with our lives.
God. Oh my god!
It's not. We both know it's going to be painful, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, my friend.
So I've heard. Well,
bummer.
I know I'm not excited.
No, you and me both, mister. All right.
All right. Well,
that brings us to RMM.
Yeah. And it's a mini version.
It is. I think there's going to be 11 total, because I think there's 6 on your list. Only 5 on mine, so let's get underway. We are going to start with Peter Jackson.
That's a Mondo.
Meh. Michael J. Fox.
I'm going to say meh.
Meh. Sean Penn.
Mondo.
Mel Gibson.
I'm going to say Mondo, actually.
I'm going to go... That movie, him and Sean Penn were both
Should I get off the pod?
I'm still going meh.
Look at his body of work.
Meh.
Look at his body of work.
I know, meh. I'm sorry. I meh, but meh. Jim Caviezel.
That's a Mondo.
Demi Moore. Meh.
Nah.
All right. Did you see that last thing she was in? It's like a retreat for... Like a corporate retreat where they got
Sounds terrible.
Buried in a cave, and I don't know, it was awful. All right, Michael Cera.
That's a Mondo for me.
Mondo. Jonah Hill.
Nah.
Meh. Brian Cox.
Oh yeah, that's a
Mondo. Ed Begley Jr. Meh. And Angelica Houston.
Oh, that's a super duper top of the list Mondo.
Nice.
That was a good list.
Yeah.
Such a good list.
That is a good list, isn't it?
Well, Murray, we missed you this week, buddy. Hopefully you'll be with us next week. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Unless you got something else you want to throw in.
I got nothing else. I think, considering we were running shorthanded today, and I was, you were going by via telephone, and I was going off of and I was running the show here with the music and all. I'd say it went pretty smoothly.
Octopus hands, baby. That's what we're going to call you from now on.
I'm doing
Mr.
what I can.
Octopus.
A man
Would you prefer Mr. or Doc Octopus?
I would prefer Mr. I don't want to misrepresent myself as a doctor.
But don't they call you Dr. Love?
No, I don't believe anybody calls me that. At least nobody to my face.
Yes.
But if you want to call me that, feel free.
There we go. All right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Stephanie DeRoy, who's actually on leave at the moment for social media currently. As I said, she's on leave and we miss her. We wish she would come back because we need her help. Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and our YouTube channel, which is taking up the airwaves.
Nice.
Murray, we miss you, buddy. We want you back.
Miss you, Murr.
Hopefully you can dial in next week. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for our listeners, so please comment on any of our social media often, and please make us rage. Please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.